where people would rather die sometimes than do public speaking.
Yeah,
and it was timely
right.
that Phil Schibeci's people contacted us and said, look, we can teach people how to public speak in 5 minutes. And Phil does a series of workshops and public speaking himself on effective communication. He's also got a book out called How to Get Out of the Rut Race. So if you're in a rut, how to get out of a rut, how to get out of a life rut and achieve your personal goals. I'm sure he's got a few interesting things to, explore with us this morning. G'day, Phil.
G'day, Steve. How are you?
Very good. Are you nervous?
Yep, always nervous before an interview and a presentation.
Even though you're a person that talks to people about public speaking.
That's right. Yep. And that's one of the problems, Steve, that people think it's not normal to feel nervous. But I tell people that if you're not nervous before you do a speech or presentation, then check your pulse because something's terribly wrong.
Well said, Phil. Couldn't agree more. So, mate, is there 5 tips? Is it 5? You can break it down that simply for us?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's Basil, is it?
Yes. Hello, mate. Well, let's do it, shall we? Because there will be people writing these down. So let's get through them, Phil.
Okay. All right. So step 1 is speak on a topic that you're passionate about.
Okay.
That way, it's something that's close to your heart that you can get excited about, and that you know the topic.
All right. So Steve would talk about racing. I would talk about myself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What would you talk about, Phil?
Well, I'd talk about having a vision for your life, because that's what my book's about, how to get out of a rut, how to have a big, bold vision for your life.
Righto, so you got to have a passion about what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
Can I just, and I'm going to kind of kibosh it straight up, but what happens if you're told you got to talk about work and you're not that passionate about it, but you're the bloke?
Yeah.
Call in sick.
Yeah. That's a great question. That's a great question. Well, the thing is I guess there's 2 ways of looking at it. One way is if you're not passionate about your work, then you've got other problems. You need to read my book, Get Out of a Rut.
Yeah.
But the other thing is find something in the topic that you can make it passionate.
Well done.
Relate it to your life.
Yeah.
Tell a story, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
taking sickies. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so passion for the topic. Next important point of 5.
Yeah, next important point, and probably the most important in my eyes, is to be crystal clear on what the intended outcome or the message of your presentation is.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it you want to leave the audience with?
So at the end of this talk, they will understand how to fill out a betting ticket, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
What do you want to achieve? Know that. Yeah.
All right, number 3?
Yeah. Number 3 is, so now we're getting to more the structure, the next 3. So we've got the beginning. Now, the beginning is the most challenging part because it's when the presenters are most nervous and when the audience is the most sceptical because they don't know who the person's being to say. So you want to get off to a good start. So work out beforehand exactly the first words that are going to come out of your mouth. I like to start with a question. I ask the audience a question.
Do give us an example.
Yeah, an example. If I'm talking about public speaking, I might ask something like, how many of you have ever felt uncomfortable in front of an audience doing a presentation?
Yeah, so you got them straight away because everyone goes, oh, that's me, yeah, that's me. I've been uncomfortable. I'm interested in what this bloke's going to say.
So exactly. You're turning it on the audience as well then, aren't you? Away from you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. Takes the heat off you. Yeah.
All right, so should that be rehearsed? And if I'm really, really nervous, could I read that out or should I really have that down to a point where I can just say it without even looking at any notes?
Yeah, no, you want to be able to say that without any notes.
Okay.
And just as a reference point, going back to us, so you'd probably say, how many of you have backed the beaten favourite in the last at Ascot? That'd be you, Millsy.
Yeah.
And I'd probably say, how many of you have seen me on TV?
Number 4.
Perfect.
Number 4?
Okay, number 4. So now we're into the body of the presentation. So what I tell people is, you know what you're talking about. It's going to be something you know about, even if you're not that passionate, like I said, with work. But find a way you're passionate. But now just list 3 points, 3 bullet points that you're going to talk about, and you don't have to write. I take people away from writing the whole thing out and all that stuff. You want to speak like naturally.
Yeah. Yep.
So just list 3 points. And then give some thought to each of those points, what you want to say about them.
Speak from the heart, I reckon, is probably what you're saying as well. Be passionate about it. And finally? Like the beginning, know how you're going to finish. I like to use quotes, for instance, from famous people that back up my point. So know how you're going to finish up. Give us a famous quote to finish up.
Winston Churchill, very short. This is actually a speech, and it was never, never, never give up.
Never.
That's brilliant, and that applies to the idea of conquering your fear of public speaking, doesn't it?
Phil, you may have made a difference to a lot of people today, particularly if they're going to give a speech at a wedding. We appreciate your time.
Thanks very much for that, guys. It's my pleasure.
Well done, Phil Schibeci there, and he's got a book out called How to Get Out of the Rut Race.
So this is so important to so many people, all jokes aside. So first point, we'll go through them very quickly. First point, have passion for the topic.
Yes.
Wherever possible, have passion for the topic.
Yep.
Or if you're not that passionate about the topic, find something in the topic that you're passionate about. 2, know what you want to achieve when you get up there to speak. 3, have your first words ready to go. Good evening, everybody, or can I ask you a question to start us off tonight?
Yep.
Number 4, bullet points and speak from the heart. So try not to learn it or have it all written out. Just a couple of points to guide you through. And number 5, know how you're going to finish. And you know what, Millsy, just a little bit of advice if I could add, and I'm sure you'd agree with this. The beauty of going through some 5 steps like that is it means you're going to be better prepared.
Yep.
And one of the reasons people are so fearful of speaking is because the idea scares them. Therefore, the idea of sitting down to even try and plan it, they shy away from. They think, just get up there and do it and it'll be over quickly. But if you're prepared, you'll be more confident.